Hi, second graders. So today we're going to talk about the background. You can do any background you want, but you need to make sure that it has contrast to what's going on in here. Like, I really like blue. I think blue would be beautiful, but I already have too much blue going on up here and we want it to contrast. So orange would be great, but then it might blend in with this table. So we want a color that's very different or hasn't been used yet. So I could use red, pink, violet, maybe even some yellow orange, right? Or a green. So what I want to do is choose what type of pattern I'm doing. I'm going to do a wallpaper. You can paint a color or you can do a wallpaper. I could do a stripe wallpaper up and down, or maybe I do one like this side to side. And I'm going to do kind of like an orange and yellow wallpaper. So I'm going to use the ruler and just do consistently spaced stripe pattern for now. And you don't have to do stripes. If you choose to do like a flower wallpaper, those are really popular now, or dots, or design your own, then that's fine too. What I want to do is look at making it consistent the whole way, all the way to the end. And then I could keep it like this, or I could thicken them up, or I could do another line. But I think I'm going to start painting my yellow in the back. And I'm going to think about adding some more detail too. So your pattern should be simple, but different than everything else going on. So it should have a lot of contrast. And even when you're finished doing your pattern or your detail, maybe you paint on something new. So I could, for example, get some of this reddish pink, and maybe my pattern has little dots in the back, pink dots. Wallpapers get really creative. And a wallpaper also has been printed from a computer, so it's going to be really expressive. So that looks good for me for now. I'm also going to kind of paint these lines a little bit. Every other, I think. Skip one and do the next one. Skip one and do the next one. All right, so whatever you choose to do for your pattern, make sure that it's something that's consistent, which means repeating again and again, and something that has a lot of contrast to what's happening at the top. And then again, while your paint is dry, you can also find those dark shadows again and make sure that they are contrasting, because the more contrast, the better. So this bottle doesn't have enough deep blue yet. I'm going to really wiggle my brush and darken up this blue with different blues happening here, and black, because this should be a really deep color blue bottle, because those shadows are eventually what make it look more real. And you want to find all those darker values in the artwork today. If you just did one base color, that's a good start, but then we can add a lot of value and detail. So I'm going to now get some blue. And more detail to my bowl. I'm going to add a shadow right here for the bowl where everything's touching. There should be shadows across the board, and then also some detail in my tree. All right, so more detail the better, more layers of paint. If you're finished today, there's going to be an extension activity, which I will show you. But we really want to add as much detail as possible. For example, if you want to add some detail to your fruit, you can get some brown and add some specks. That's going to make it look more real, especially on things like bananas. really darken up this bowl with some dark blue and some shades, lots of color in there so that it looks more like a real, bottle. All right, well, I hope you have an awesome art class. You can add detail also to your picture frames. So I'm going to do a little orange here on my picture frame. There should just be a lot of color contrast and color variation throughout your work. So I hadn't used a lot of orange, so I'm going to use orange right here, right? I didn't paint in this yet, so I'm going to finish that. So finish painting anything you need to paint in today. Add your details. Get as detailed as you can. And I will see you next time. Have a great art class. More detail, the better. It wasn't done.